In episode 6, Jason A. and Amanda continue to go through worlds, and they're getting better at it. The worlds are less toxic, they're happier. Every world they go to, Jason A. writes down a little bit more about what he's looking for, trying to write down exactly the Daniela and Charlie that he's trying to get to. The big issue, though, is they're running out of vials. And unfortunately, while they're getting closer and closer, they're just not having any luck finding the exact Chicago that Jason A. came from. After one such trip, they decide, you know what, we need a break. I don't feel like going back to the box. Let's just get a place to lay low tonight in this world, Chicago. They get a hotel room. They go out for dinner. Basically, they have a date. I mean, it even ends with dancing, and the two are a little bit drunk as they head back to the hotel. And for whatever reason, even though they got two beds, they decide to go to sleep in the same bed with clothes on. But late in the night, Jason A. starts playing Big Spoon. They have a little bit of a conversation, and he decides, you know what, I don't really want you to go to that other bed, but Amanda, I think I need you to go to that other bed because I've still got a Daniela that I'm trying to get back to. The next day they wake up, they go to another Chicago, another world, and Amanda says, I'm going to need a day to myself. Let's just meet back here tonight. We'll figure some things out. If it's your world, great. You can stay, obviously, but I just need to be alone. Unfortunately for Jason, it's not his world. He goes to the art gallery that Daniela works at, but she doesn't work at the art gallery in this world. She owns it, and she's got blonde hair. Looking superb, by the way. And he tries to ask her out for coffee, but she turns him down because it's a little weird. Random guy coming off the street asking you if you want to go get coffee. Bizarre. When he reconvenes with Amanda later that night at the box, it turns out she kind of did the same thing. She spent the day looking at herself in this world from afar. Because this was a pretty emotional day, they once again decide to get a hotel room, but it's just becoming a lot for Jason A. He tells Amanda, I gotta go get some food. Problem is, he doesn't go get food. He doesn't come back for a long time. And Amanda gets super worried. She starts calling hospitals, and that's when Jason A. reappears. And he didn't go get food. He went to go look at himself in that world. And it turns out that in that world, Jason and Daniela are together. Yeah, blonde-haired Daniela, Jason, they're loving their life. And he admits to Amanda that suddenly he understands how Jason B. could have done to him what he did. He figures that Jason B. must have been stalking him for 3 weeks from afar, just watching, waiting for an opportunity to strike. Amanda, upon hearing all this, just says, this isn't working. And the world that you're looking for is a grain of sand on a beach. They get in a little bit of an argument about this because Amanda wants him to try something different. She reminds him, we've only got 10 vials left, and what we've been doing is not working. Now, while things aren't going great for Jason A at the moment, they're actually going a lot better for him than Jason B. It doesn't start out that way, though. Jason B gets the deal with Leighton done. They are millionaires. Upon completion of the deal, he tells Daniela, you need to go do your art full time, which, ironically, she's actually in the process of doing. She's painting a picture when he tells her about the deal. All that's left for Jason is to go drop the serum off with Leighton, put him in the box, and send him on his way, and then get rid of the box. Before he does that, though, he drops Charlie off at a date at the skate park, and then he heads to meet Leighton. Leighton is pumped. He shakes his hand. He wishes him well, and then Leighton gets in the box and disappears for good. He then has to go pick Charlie back up from the date. He picked him up some ice cream, which is cool. The problem is, as they're making conversation, Charlie starts choking because Jason B was completely oblivious to the fact that Charlie has a nut allergy, and the ice cream that he gave him has nuts in it. So he suddenly has to rush Charlie to the hospital where when Daniela shows up, she is pissed off. She can't understand how Jason B could be so oblivious to the fact that their son has a nut allergy. I mean, who forgets that? But it's just a little more information that Jason B was unaware of that he couldn't pick up in the 3 to 4 weeks he was watching Jason A from afar. And this gets Daniela's antenna up because this is yet another thing, a big thing that he's forgotten. And this Jason seems to have changed in minor ways, like he flosses now. Her old Jason never did. It's weird. She tells Blair all of this, but the big revelation is the fact that she's noticed he's got track marks on his arm. So Blair says follow him. Find out what he's doing. And while they were having this conversation, Jason B was busy in a therapy session. But the therapist, it turns out, is that world's Amanda. Jason B, not wanting to lose track of his old girlfriend, decided he'd kill two birds with one stone, try to make sense of everything I'm doing and, be able to see Amanda. In this therapy session, they talk about the fact that Danielle is really, really pissed at him for what happened with Charlie, and he needs to make it up to her. He likes a big romantic gesture, so he does one, or at least he thinks he does. Later that night, he brings her to the art gallery that she works at to show her that he had them put in her painting, thinking this would be a good thing, but it's not. She's mortified. They get into a big argument on the drive home because, one, the painting wasn't finished, and two, she feels like they put it up there because they pity her. And she wasn't happy with the artwork to begin with. She hasn't painted in years. And Jason B can't figure out why she's not happy about this. This fight is nasty, it's contentious, and it ends with Daniela getting out of the car and Jason B driving away. So Daniela decides to follow Blair's advice and follow Jason B. She follows him all the way to the storage unit where he was keeping all of his things, the vials, guns, phones, you name it. And while she can't get into the storage unit fully, she is able to open it up a crack and find one of the vials. And the only person she knows who might be able to figure out what was in the vial is Ryan. So she goes and asks him, hey, can you reverse engineer this thing and find out what he's taking because he's different? Ryan decides to work on it the next day as Jason B once again goes to a therapy session with that world's Amanda. But when he gets home from it, Ryan's waiting for him. And he asks him, did you think that I wouldn't find out? You didn't want to work with me because you were too busy stealing my shit? Yeah, Jason A's Ryan reverse engineered it all right. And he discovered that what Jason B was taking was basically what he was working on, what he got funded for. They decide to go to the corner bar, have a drink, talk about it. Jason B swears that he didn't steal it. He just discovered it on his own. They talk a little bit of shop. They discuss the differences between Ryan's and Jason's. And then Jason decides to go show him the box. Jason B shows him exactly how his serum works. He injects both of them. They go in the box. They open up a door. And Ryan is floored at what he's seeing. But as Ryan is marveling at the view of Chicago, Jason B is slowly backing up. He's got Ryan's phone in his hand because he told Ryan he would take a picture for him, but he never did. And when Ryan turns around and sees just how far Jason B is from him, he says, you're not this world's Jason, are you? And Jason admits, no, I'm not. But it's too late because Jason B shuts the door on Ryan and Ryan is locked in whatever Chicago Jason B put him in. When Jason B steps out of the box, he realizes that he might have a bigger problem, though. As he's holding Ryan's phone starts buzzing, and he sees it's Daniela calling. He's going to have to figure out what to do about that situation, but before that happens, he needs to unassemble the box, and he does that, destroying any chance that Jason A has of coming back and breaking up what Jason B works so hard for. Thank you so much for checking out this recap. Please consider subscribing to the channel and subscribing to my Patreon. Hit thumbs up if you liked it. Smash that thumbs down button if you thought it sucked. If you left a comment, I don't get back to you. I usually don't check the comments unless they're like a super comment. Also, if you don't see the next video up on the end screen, not to worry. It'll be up in a day or two.